What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Round Table Talk. I am your host, C Money, and we are back with another Traveling with the Round Table. I am here in Wellston Park, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, Wellston Park, if I'm not mistaken. And this was the entrance that I came in from. I'll probably go back to it. And I just wanted to check the park out. It was literally down the street from my hotel, and when I did Google things to do and stuff like that, this happened to come up. This is like a somewhat like of a park slash nature trail. I have on the wrong type of shoes for these. I must say I did pack. It's a funny story. I packed two different types of pair of shoes that I was supposed to be wearing. I have three pairs of shoes that I have with me, but one of the pair I packed, it was a white pair, and I packed two different types, and I made a mistake, and that was my fault. But yeah, so we are here in Wellston Park. So I'm wearing different type of shoes, even though nothing. I'm gonna walk through a little bit. I don't really too much know about this park. Granted, I only Googled it, but I didn't do too much of a research on this park. They did have a building in the front, which is probably where the office was, or probably was historical. Yes, I'm wearing all white, so that's another bad thing. When I saw that it was literally feet away, and I was like, oh, well, since it's closed, I'll check it out. So basically, this is probably one of those parks where they had a dog park. I didn't see no playground or nothing like that. So this is probably one of those nature parks. But I'm of to spec of that, because here in Georgia, Georgia is most of the smaller cities that are on the outskirts of, that are in Georgia, and the cities that are on the outskirts of Atlanta. There you're gonna run into woods, and a lot of the wood places. There's probably a house that sits right there, but I believe this is probably one of the trails that they have, because I know that there's a trail, because it says it on Google. But this basically is one of those parks where you don't come out here and bring the kids to play. You don't come out here to get on the playground and stuff like this. Is more of a nature trail, and since I'm an adventurous person, I just want to try it out. I'm here by myself, of course. I'll probably meet up with my friend later on. We'll probably do something later on. Probably go to the mall or something. But this is the closest thing that I can walk to within distance, because remember, I'm not driving. I took the bus up here, and I'm taking Uber and Lyft everywhere, because as you know, as I said in the last video, Warner Robins doesn't have public transportation. And if they do have transportation, it's probably like, one of them elderly services where they pick up their elderly and take them where they need to go, or anything of that nature. I haven't been out here long, I'm tired. Maybe I should have brought me some water with me. But I'm just getting the outlook of this trail. This probably be the first and only time I ever do this trail, because even though I'm here for a couple of days, I'm gonna be exploring other locations and venues and places throughout my trip here. But if you want to see woods, this is really the woods. I wouldn't say I haven't seen anything as far as critters or anything of that nature just yet, but I'm sure there are people that walk their dogs out here because they have a dog park and everything. I know eventually the mosquitoes are going to eat me up, because I have on shorts, and I know when you stand still, the mosquitoes eat you alive. Oh, okay, here's a guy with his dog. Yeah, it's just interesting. Very interesting. Morning. This is this is a long trail. Hope this trail leads around back to the main part of the park. Because if not, then we're in for a long haul. But yeah, this is off of Watson Boulevard. It's probably a minute walk or so, I would say less than a 2-minute walk, depending on how you walk in, from my hotel, which is the Ramada Inn, which is also sits off of Watson Boulevard. And you come out here. Yeah, there's a couple of houses because the entrance to the park sits on a street. You turn off of Watson Boulevard and you go down, and then soon enough you turn off of Watson Boulevard, you go down like half a block, then you make a left. They don't have much parking. There's like a few parking spaces that is here, but that is what you expect of this park. So whoop-dee. But acorns on the ground. You know, this is the second park I've visited here in Georgia. I mean, the first park I visited was Piedmont Park back in 2021 when I went to Georgia with my friends, but I never did an episode of the park, Piedmont Park. But I did do an episode there when I visited downtown Atlanta and all the adjacent areas. So this is the second park I've actually visited in Georgia. When I came in 2019, I didn't go near a park. So yeah, this is a park that you can circle around in memory of Rhonda Spradley, 5/19/1956 to 5/13/2017, Wellston Park. Okay, I guess they should. And of course, you can probably go off into little duck off areas, like they have probably little trails that lead off to other areas of this. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm just gonna stick to the main part of here, because I'm quite sure, like any park, they have, you know, little side trails that you can go through, you know, that'll take you into other parts of the park. Like over here, you have over here, which I don't know what this part is. I don't know if this is part of the park. Over here I see like a little machine over there, like a construction machine looks like. Oh, this is like a little hill going down. Like you're going down a hill. I kind of thought I heard something over here, but it's probably just me on the rocks. But and you got to be cautious when you come to these, you know, parks in Georgia, because a lot of these parks, they do have wildlife, and some of the wildlife may be something that you're not used to, especially down in South Florida. You know, you may see stuff down here in these Georgia parks you ain't gonna see in South Florida, even though South Florida do have, you know, parks like this and stuff like that. But their parks are like, you know, some of their parks are man-made parks, or some of their parks are, yeah, parks that was, you know, part of history, you know, like the Barnacle, or, you know, Oleta River and Huge Taylor, and what's the other one, Bill Bags and stuff. You know, they may have, you know, stuff like this, but these are the true woods, meaning that when my mom, because my mom and my dad is originally from Georgia, they're just from two parts of Georgia. They met when they moved them, you know, when they met in Miami, you know, so that's how I ended up there. But they're from Georgia. But when my mom used to live in the woods back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, she lived in the woods. And when you talk about woods, this is what they're talking about when you're in Georgia, the woods. Like, you see woods when you come to South Florida, you see woods. And yeah, you be like, okay, the woods, you know, I've been to several parks, and you've seen some of the parks on, you know, my hot spots in South Florida and history in South Florida. But this is like the woods, like literally I'm in the woods, you know, of Georgia, you know. And this is not that created woods, you know, that, you know, but this is, no, this probably been here since the 50s, 60s, 30s, 20s, 1800s. You know, they ain't put nothing back here, and and this is one of them places where you're gonna be here for another years to come, because this is a park. So, you know, they may, you know, add a playground, or they may add a golf, tennis court to it, or something like that in the future. in memory of Rhonda Spratley. Oh, she's all over this park. So I'm guessing she's one of the famous, a well-known person or somebody who is known in this park or something. Because they have a lot of in memory of her. That's the second one I've seen. But like you can go through these areas, you can go to this part of the park, but I just choose not to do it because I just want to stay on the main part of the park and just get a outlook of the park and see how it is. Eventually I'm gonna go sit down and we're gonna go back to the front of the park so I can show you how the front of the park look and everything. This is probably the only park I'll probably visit on my trip here because I know there's probably several other parks, but as you know, where I'm at, everything is spaced out. So where I see that like the mall, Galleria Mall is like over 2 miles away from me, which is not far. 2 miles from where I'm at is not really far compared to 10-20 miles that most places are, like Rigby's, Waterworld, and Entertainment Complex, which is like miles and miles away from me. Even though it's in Warner Robins, but it's not like 1-2 miles away from me. It's probably like 5, 6, 7, 8 miles or so away from me. So a lot of these places, like I said in my previous video, you're going to get a lot of these places that are scattered out. So it's going to be like 10, 15, 20 minutes. But it's not like how Miami, where you can get to a corner store in 5 minutes, or you can get to a shopping mall or a shopping center less than 10 minutes or so, because there's a shopping center down the street from where I stay. But here, yes, I mean, like I told you in the previous, there was a Burger King near my hotel. There, I found the Family Dollar. I literally thought it was literally next door to my hotel, but it's about half a block down. So it's still not bad, even if I need to go and stuff like that. So I'm quite sure, like a lot of the kids, when they come out to this park, they go up the hills and go play in the hills and go do all that stuff, which is not bad. But me, I'm just trying to stay on the main part. I'm a visitor, so I'm not really, trying to go out into the areas and stuff. And plus, I have on shorts, so. And here's another in memory of Rhonda Spratley, loving wife, mother, grandmother, John 3:16. Here's a park bench. Here's a picnic table. I guess this is just a sit down and eat picnic table. Apparently they don't have a grill here, so you can't grill. So if you bring your little mini snacks and you come out here and sit down and snack while you're in the park. But honestly, this is one of them parks where you just want to walk around and get a peace of mind and enjoy the view of the nature. I don't see this park as come in here, sit down, hang out, have fun. You're just taking the intake of the nature, because my mom used to always say, oh, I used to have to walk in, miles to get to the bus and get to school and walk to school. And how everything back then, people had to walk everywhere. You had to walk like 5 or 10 miles just to get to school, or just to get to a bus stop to go to school. Or like if you lived in the woods, you didn't have no corner store that was up the street. You had to walk up a dirt road, get to the main street, then have to walk the main street to get to the store. So, this is a lot of them, how people look at, Georgia, even though the community and even though they're, Georgia is changing within time, but Georgia is still back in time, because you still have the cost of living is very cheap here. That's why a lot of people moved here. A lot of people moved to Georgia because it's cheaper to live in Georgia. And then also you have the cost of the minimum wage is low. You're probably like $9-10 maybe for the minimum wage, and down in South Florida, $10 an hour is not gonna pay even one bill. So it's a lot to take in. A lot of this. So this is actually nice. I may visit back when I may come back and visit before I leave, because this is literally close. But I just want to get a somewhat outlook of the park, and get you to see, okay, this is the park, this is Wellston Park. This is one of the parks, because this is one of the parks that I, when I looked up things to do in Wellington, I mean, not in Wellington. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of this park. And Wellington is a area in Palm Beach. It's like, I think it's a mall or something like that. But when I looked up things to do in Warner Robins, this was one of the things that came up. And also Rigby's came up, which is what I'm going to be visiting within the next couple of days. This park, Wellston Park, which also has the Wellston Trail, which I believe we're on, and also the other thing I mentioned, the Aviation Museum, because that's what the front desk clerk told me about at the hotel, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing the Aviation Museum because that's something I run. This is probably another trail that people probably go through and walk through, but I'm not going to walk through it because it's basically, I just want to stay on the main part of the trail. Okay, see the building over there, I think that might be the office building or the building that's part of the park. I can't honestly tell you. But and this is probably the area, like the hangout area and the area you can relax and rest and stuff. They don't have a barbecue grill. I see they have a couple of tables here. I see this is one of the few parks that I've actually see that have bird feeders and bird houses in the park, because normally when you go to the park you don't see bird houses, but those are actually bird houses, and there were several of those that I've seen. Now, like I said, this park I have not seen a playground, so I know this is not a place to bring kids. But I would say if you want to ride your bike, this would be a good thing too. But I wouldn't recommend riding my bike because most of this trail is rocks and anything. You have a couple of tables here, trash can. You don't really have a picnic, like a barbecue area. I'm guessing this is the barbecue. No, this is not really the barbecue area because that's a drain right there. So I would thought that would be the barbecue area. I guess this is the little mini bridge you step over to come over here. 16th Civil Engineer Squadron, proud to be CE, Georgia National Guard. Okay. World Self-Storage, Climate Control Secured. Coldwater Creek Apartments. These are probably sponsors. McGlary Development. Discover Home, Indulgent Living. Newton Development since 1999. Let's see what this is about. Donated to the city of Warner Robins in honor of all military branches in appreciation for their service and sacrifice that guards the freedom of the United States of America. Thanks for your bravery, Charlie N. McClelmy family. Dedicated August 31st, 2017. I'm guessing this was donated or the flag was donated, one or the other. And these are probably the sponsors for here. Let's go back here. I didn't really need to sit on here, get on this, because you have other. And we started over here. This is the dog park area. Now, this dog park area is not really, to me, a dog park area, because when you look at this, literally, it looks like, it looks like one of them dog park areas that you would see in Georgia. Because, literally, when you go to a dog park, especially in South Florida, they have, I don't see one here. No, it's actually here. It's over there. They have a two-people water fountain, but I see the water fountain here for the dogs. They have a water fountain for the adults, and then below they have it where you can press the button and the dogs can come and eat from the water. But they have buckets, things out here where you can put your dogs can feed the water. You just turn that on, but that's not really a water fountain. That's just like a hose connected to it. But this looks like an actual dog park for Georgians or whatever. Please clean up after your pets. And it was another one that says this area is for small dogs. So I'm guessing this is only for small dogs. Operating hours sunrise to sunset, closed 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. on first and third Mondays for maintenance. So I guess they clean up in it. But it did say keep your dog on a leash. These are them like type of holes that sits on the side of the house. And when you was a kid, you cut on the water hose and you drink hose. That's what it looks like. But this actually looked like an exercise park, not just a regular dog park, because normally a dog park would just have a few little amenities, but they have the little walking type rope thing for the dogs, and they have it where you can climb up the little thing right there. So this is actually exercising for dogs, you know. Hey, I mean, don't see them. They probably have them in Miami, but I don't see them down there. So, you know, you just got to be like, ooh, okay. We're walking back to the front of the park. This is the entrance of the park. Gonna show you the thing about this park, you know. So I walked this park in less than 30 minutes because normally my show is a 30-minute show and we haven't reached 30 minutes yet. So it was a less than 30-minute walk. This might be a water trail. Yeah, this is like a water trail that it comes out and then it goes. No vehicles allowed in the park area. I guess this gate is for basically the vehicle. I guess this is like a water area where you can, but I'm quite sure people walk through there. This is Wellston Park. Use the park at your own risk. This is a book. It's Maddie Atham, whatever, 2023 Silver Award Project. I'm quite sure there's people that walk down here, but I wouldn't do it. And this looks like a little trail. Let's go back to the front of the park. Well, we are at the front of the park, but I just want to come this way. Over here, and the one other thing that you don't know about this park, I mean that I haven't noticed, there isn't a water fountain. There is a bathroom, which is right here. And this is just a regular restroom. I mean, see if we can take a look inside the restroom and see what's. This is just a regular restroom. No male or female restrooms. I guess it's broken because it looks like, no, but it's broken. It's just a regular restroom. There is no water fountain. So if you come out here, you gotta come out here hot, and you gotta come out here and, you know, have your stuff ready and everything. So this probably is either the community center or it's probably where the office is at. But Wellbe Park Community Partners. So this is probably there's no sign on this house, so I'm guessing this is, it says no dumping, no trespassing, all violators will be prosecuted. So I would not try to go up there because I do not want to be a part of any prosecution or anything. So I'm guessing this is it. This is Something Point apartment home. So this is where you'll probably see some of the homes along the trail. Well, as you walk in the trail, you'll see some of the homes there. So that's probably some of the homes you're seeing on the trail. But yeah, this is it. This is Wellston Park here in Warner Robins. If I get any additional information, you know, I'm also gonna do a recap of my trip. So if I do get any additional information, if I do, because a lot of these places are places that have been here for a while, but they're not like, they don't have like information like you can look it up and they'll say, oh, this is Wellston Park and it's here and it's here and it's here, but it don't say when it opened up, and it don't say if it have any historical information on it, you know. So you can't really say, you know, what is what with the park, you know. So you can't really say, oh, okay, this park opened up in 1800s, 1900s or something like that. They may just have, oh, this is a park where you can go and walk the trail, and they have a dog park and, you know, stuff like that. But I will say, if you get hot, please have your hydration system out here. I didn't think of that when I came out here, because I did have a bottle of water that I did bring, because what I did is, and this is what I tell you, I froze a bottle of water yesterday in my freezer, and I froze it to where it'll stay cold longer. And the longer you keep it out of the heat, it'll stay cooler longer. But if it's exposed to heat, it'll melt real quickly. By the time I got here to Wonder Water, because I didn't even drink none of the water, because I had a grape soda, and then when we stopped at one of the stops, I had ended up getting a soda from the fountain. But one of the things is, it got to a regular temperature, or room temperature, whatever you want to call it, by the time we got here. So, but it's sitting in my little mini fridge at the hotel. So basically, it's, you know, one of those things that, you know, you got to look out when you come to park, especially in Georgia. And I did look on, I did see the thing, there's a heat advisory. It's supposed to be like 96 degrees up here. So you can see I'm hot as balls out here. And I turned off my AC because when I got out of the shower, and then when I, you know, the bus ride at night, because, you know, when you ride in the bus in the daytime, it's not as hot. It's not as cold as it is at night, because in the daytime, you got the heat beaming inside the bus. So it was actually hot. And, you know, I was wearing one of my 4th of July shirts, which was a, you know, white beater, you know, shirt. So it had the 4th of July colors and hats and everything. And then I end up, you know, on the second, that was from the Greyhound from Miami to Orlando. Then from Orlando to Warner Robins, it kind of got cool at night. And then everybody started bundling up because it was getting cool, because when nighttime hit and them lights are off in that bus, it gets cold. And I had on a sweater. So I normally bring a sweater when I come up to places like this for that reason, because sometimes the buses can be cool. So I normally bring a sweater. I am sweating, and I just took a shower, so you know I'm finna be crazy. Okay, now we're gonna go out of the park, and this is probably the end of the show. You know, I just wanted to give you an outlook of Wellston Park. This is one of the parks that I actually Googled when I came out. Before I came up here, I actually Googled this park, and I just wanted to see what this park was all about. I know it's not really a fascinating park, because it's nothing you'll want to take your kids, of course, because they don't have a playground or nothing like that. If you're a naturist and you like to walk through nature trails and stuff like myself, I like to do nature trails, because, you know, you get a feel of the nature. You've seen several of my videos in South Florida that I've did it. I only did one park, as I say, up here since I've visited Georgia, and that's Piedmont Park, and that was back in 2021. But the other times I visit here, and, you know, I did the nature trail at Star Island, but the Star Island nature trail is basically like a man-made nature trail. Like, they created that, because I don't think that was actually nature-made. I think that was man-made, because it sits on a resort, and they probably made it, and then, you know, since it's near the water, the critters come out and stuff like that. But this one is actually nature made, meaning that this park all of this was from the 1800s. And so you're getting the in-depth feeling of nature. When you come into Georgia, when you walk in these trails and walking in these woods, you're getting the full effect of the nature and the woods. You know, when you visiting the parks in Florida, some of them are not nature made. And what I mean by nature made, I mean that was created back in the 1800s. The trees grew up and everything, and these trees been here since the 1800s, since the 1930s and 40s. You know, some of the places in Miami, you know, they built trees and grew them up and say, hey, this is nature. You know, they built parks of, you know, around these communities, like the Barnacle House. That was nature made. And then they started building houses and stuff around it, so it started being different, you know. And also a lot of the, you know, places. So this is nature made. Mother Teresa, nature made, you know, and, you know, stuff like this. So this is something to do. If I do come across another park, which I highly doubt, because I won't be venturing out to many locations, because due to the fact that there is no public transportation here, and due to the fact that everything is scattered out, I probably won't be venturing out to any other parks or whatever, but I will be venturing out to several locations. This will probably be the only park for right now that I'm venturing out to. But I must say, it's time for me to go. I thank y'all for watching. This is another episode of Traveling with the Round Table. We are here in beautiful Warner Robins, Georgia, one of the unknown cities in the state of Georgia, which is in the middle of Perry, which is in Houston, County or Houston County. I thought it was Houston, but from what my friend said, it's Houston County or Houston County, one of them. And it is south of Atlanta, north of Valdosta and Albany, and south of Macon, south of Atlanta and Macon, north of Valdosta and Albany, and in the middle of all of this greatness and just taking all the greatness. Email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. Don't forget, you can also comment at the bottom of this video. If you have any information you would like to share about Warner Robins, or if you want to know more about Warner Robins, if you have any information, you can share with us. But if you want to know about Warner Robins, Google Warner Robins, visit their sites. I've tried, visiting several things, and, it's a lot of different things. So if you want to know more about it, just take the intake of it, Google Warner Robins like I did, explore, and if you don't know much about your city, this is the time to explore your city. I explore my city. I explore South Florida all the time, and I learned a lot about South Florida that I didn't know. And I'm, an older guy, and I don't know much about South Florida that I did know, that you would think I would know. So do that, Wellston Park. I keep saying it wrong. Wellston Park. I might be saying it wrong now, but I'm going to say it. Wellston Park, Warner Robins, Florida. I thank you for watching. I'm going to go back to my hotel because I am sweating like balls here, and this is a lot. So stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated, because I need a drink of water. And I will see you in the next episode here in Warner Robins. This is the Roundtable Talk, traveling with the Roundtable. I'm C Money and I'm out. Take care.